Konnichiwa! Annyeonghaseyo! Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Hiroto Diaz and I am your presenter for this topic which is the current trends and main issues as regard to science curriculum development and implementation in Japan and South Korea. For this topic, so we have the objectives or the learning objectives which is first is to describe the current trends and issues in science education in Japan and South Korea. Understand the status of science education in Japan and South Korea. And lastly, identify what recent and relay and research need to improve the science education in Japan and South Korea. So, noong mga nakakaraang araw o nakakaraang linggo, tayo po ay marami ng bansa na pinag-aralan tungkol sa science curriculum or in terms of education system of different country in Southeast Asia, di ba po? Ayan, so ngayon naman po, dadalhin ko naman po kayo at ililipad ko kayo, no? Dahil ako nga daw po ay isang hero. Ayan, so ililipad ko po kayo sa bansang Japan at South Korea na kung saan yung mga bansang ito ay ilan sa mga trending, no? Trending dito sa ating bansa, ano? Yung mga sa mga kabataan, 'di ba? Sabi po nila, ayan, sikat na sikat yung mga Korean artists, ano? Opa nga daw, sabi nga po nila, 'di ba? Ayan. And first of all, mga ma'am and sirs, alam po natin na malaki po ang contribution ng Japan sa ating bansa, which is nung time ng sa ating nakaraan, which is gusto nila tayong sakupin at gusto nilang kumbaga magbahagi, no, ng konting kaalaman or ano ba yung gusto nilang gawin sa atin? Gusto nila tayong sakupin, 'di ba? And ano po yung gusto nilang baguhin sa atin in terms of education, 'di ba? Ang contribution po nila is to give the vocational education and also to kumbaga palitan po ang English language o ang paggamit ng English language ng Nipongo, 'di ba? So, yan po yung nakasulat sa ating nakaraan. Okay, so ngayon po tayo ay dadako na sa unang bansa na ating pag-aaralan which is the Japan, ano? So, ano po ba yung sikat at trending ngayon na issue sa Japan? So, ito po yung tinatawag natin na the newest iBot in Japan or the world's smallest robot o yung mga robot, ano? Alam po natin na ang Japan ay kilala sa mga robot bodies na kanilang ginagawa. Okay? So, Japanese robotics, sabi nga po, have been leading the way in realizing the aspiration to create robots that offer companionship to human decades. The Japanese government set a plan by 2025 every household will embrace a robot lifestyle that entails safe, comfortable, convenience, living with the help of companion machines. The social integration of robot and the valuing of human care can be mutually reinforcing the society navigating the realities of the future, no? So, alam niyo po ba na ang mga robot sa Japan ay ginagawa po nilang kumbaga parang ito po yung body nila, no? Ito yung kaibigan nila, no? Kumbaga parang tinuturing na rin po nila itong kamag-anak. Bakit po? Kasi itong mga robot na to, no, gumagawa din po ito. Kung ano yung ginagawa ng tao, ginagawa din po natin. So, ganyan ka-high-tech sa Japan. So, panimula pa lang po natin, makikita na natin na yung science education sa Japan is so much, kumbaga parang napakalaki ng napakaganda ng science education dito sa bansang Japan po na ito. Ano? Dahil nga napakagaling nilang mag-imbento, no? Yung robot na yan or yung robotics sa tinatawag natin which is one subject lang po dito sa atin, no? Ayan. So the Japanese believe that the Western views robot with great suspicions of job killer or dehumanizing machines if in Western pop culture the image of the Terminator robot is pervasive. Then in Japan, the image is of robot as savior. 'Di ba? Yung mga robot po na gawa nila sa Japan, ito daw po yung mga savior po nila. Okay? So, ano naman po yung, kung sa Japan, meron po tayong robot, no, yung iBot na tinatawag natin sa Japan. Sa Korea naman po, meron tayong tinatawag na Dominating Archery Using Science in Korea. No? So, sabi nga, mga kailan lang, no, gumamit sila ng high technology make South Korea dominate archery at Tokyo Olympics. No? So, ano po ba yung meron dyan? Picking out quality arrows with high precision shooting machine using the automatic charging robot technology used to connect electric vehicles and chargers. The Hyundai Motor Groups and the Korean Archery Society developed a high-precision shooting machine. Okay? To pick out well-made arrows when the machine was first adopted for the 2016 Rio Olympics. It shoots arrow at the distance of 70 meter. And the arrow that did not make the first size shoot group were classified as defective. However, for the 2020 Olympics, they achieved higher precision by reducing the shoot group size to coin size. The Archery Association reported that the quality of the arrow improved by far. It contributed to boosting the confidence of athletes with the assurance that they were using flawless arrow. 'Di ba? So kung makikita natin sa Japan at sa Korea, talagang yung science education is sobrang halaga sa kanila at sobrang dami nilang naiimbento. 'Di ba ang archery, ito po yung parang pana. Dito naman nakaisip sila, no? Nakaisip sila ng electronic archery. 'Di ba? Electronic archery ang ginamit nila. Hindi lang po yung manual na archery ang ginamit. Okay? So now, let us move on to the how is the education system in Japan. Okay? So, in Japan, in higher educations, start upon the completion of 12 years of education, 6 years in elementary and secondary, 3 years of lower secondary school, and 3 years of upper secondary school. Japan is also increase the learner who wants to learn science to develop an iRobot. Okay? So, Japan consistently performing well on major education survey, including the Program for International Student Assessment or the PISA, and also the Trend in International Mathematics and Science Study or the TIMSS. Japan has ranked the top performer on PISA since 2000 or year 2000. So, ang Japan po talaga ay top performer na po in terms of science study and mathematics. Okay? So, particularly in mathematics, Japan's result also show greater equity than many other country with the impact of socio-economic status on student performance well below the socio-economic status in 2018 compare on the average of 14%. Okay? So, and also Japan has long held education and teachers in high regards and prided itself as being highly egalitarians. Okay? Since the end of WW2 or the World War II, Japan has promoted the idea of an all middle class society where access to opportunity is a function of efforts and merit determined by school achievement. Japan has offered universal primary school since the early 20th century but until the 1940s, okay, until 1940s, access to higher education was extremely selective. Then what happened to the next? So, after the World War II, the education system become more democratized. Okay? More democratized na po yung education sa Japan. With compulsory school extended to 9 years, 6 years of primary, plus 3 years to the lower secondary school. So, Japan's paid in the idea of achievement through hard work combined with the reliance on the test result for admission to secondary school and higher education. So sa Japan po, yes, meron po agad silang admission. Admission in terms of what? In terms of secondary education pa lang po, di ba, dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, ang meron lang pong admission is college admission exam. So sa Japan po, secondary school pa lang po, meron na po silang admission agad. Okay? So, the Japan current plans to promote of education outline its policy priorities through 2022. The five major education priorities are to support the development of emotion intelligence and physical health in addition to academic abilities. Prepare the students to participate and innovate in the global economy, promote lifelong learning, and expand safety net for students such as free access to early childhood education and care, and support the implementation of education policies through increased access to classroom technology, strengthened guidance system, higher qualification for teachers, and other factors. Japan has also accelerated in plans to integrate technology into classroom. After school were not fully prepared for the transition to distance learning during the coronavirus pandemic, so ano yung ginawa ng Japan? Japan also faces challenges related to its declining birth rate. A 35% decline, no? A 35% decline in population in predicted by 2065, and falling enrollment in both primary and secondary school as well as higher education. So how about the Japan finances or the education finances in Japan? So the Japan funds its public school through a combination of support from the national, then prefectural, and municipal government. In public, compulsory education, then ano po yung nangyayari doon? They prefecture pay 2/3 of teacher's salary and the national government pays 1/3. No? So ganun po yung nangyayari, no? Sa public school, no, magbabayad yung mga estudyante ng 2/3 ng salary ng teachers, and yung 1/3 ay manggagaling sa national government. So, public primary and lower secondary school do not change or charge tuition fees. And government tuition fee supports make public offer secondary school. Essentially, free for families making below an annual income. Families earning above this threshold pay tuition fee at the upper secondary school. Okay? And of course, yung Japanese government use the public funds to support a private education. No? So yung government ng Japan, tinutulungan din po nila yung mga private institution and private education. They are paying 50% of private school teacher salary and providing a capital grant to cover a specific cost such as new building and equipment. So, ganyan po ang nangyayari sa fund ng Japan. Okay, so ano naman po ang nangyayari sa ating curriculum in Japan? So, based on School Education Act, no, so the Japanese national government sets the national curriculum standard for elementary, secondary, and special needs school in order to maintain definite levels of education and ensure a quality education for all. So, national curriculum standards are revised every 10 years. The National Government of Japan, body that published the national curriculum standard, and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, or the MEXT na tinatawag po nila. So, Board of Education that then set a regulation related to the management of the school, including the school year, school terms, procedure of making curricula, and use of textbooks. Boards of Education or the BOE are divided into municipal. Okay? They are divided into municipal and prefectural board of education where municipal establish the oversee upper secondary school and school for special need education. In accordance with national curriculum standards, individual school makes the execute curricula by setting education objectives, organizing lesson content, and allocating classroom hours. Okay, so ganyan po yung nangyayari sa curriculum ng ah, Japan. Okay. So in Japan, children typically undergo 12 years formal education consisting of elementary, lower secondary, and upper secondary. Then before that, before the beginning, their elementary education at the age of 6, children have their own options. No? They have their own options to attend in kindergarten at age of 3 and 5 years old. So, compulsory education begins with 6 years of elementary schools and end with 3 years of lower secondary school for the total of 9 years. So, ganyan po katagal nag-aaral ang mga estudyante sa Japan. No? Kaya, doon pa lang po, makikita na po natin kung bakit napaka sobrang competitive ng mga estudyante ng Japan, no? Sa among the other country, 'di ba? Kasi ganyan sila katagal nag-aaral. They spend more time in education than others. 'Di ba? So kaya wag po tayong magtaka kung sobrang taas ng percentage nila in terms of the competitions. Okay? Ayan. And lastly, there are specialized training college and miscellaneous school which are mostly privately controlled institution that offer practical, vocational, and technical education program. So, mas ino-offer po nila ang tinatawag nating specialized training college provided by the upper secondary program for those who have completed their compulsory education, post-secondary program, and general courses. Okay? So, student who complete the upper secondary program receive a technical associate degree. Miscellaneous school available to student who have completed, no, who have completed their compulsory education. Offer courses in dressmaking, cooking, and automobile repair among many other vocational trades and generally last for 1 year. Okay? So now, tayo naman ay sa sobrang paglalakbay natin sa Japan, medyo marami na tayong natutunan, marami na tayong nalaman in terms of their educations, in terms of their curriculum. Kung bakit ba napakataas ng percentage ng mga ng Japan, no, in terms of education, 'di ba? So sa simula pa lang makikita na natin na talagang in terms of science education, talagang sila ay may karapatang manguna dahil sila ay nakaka-imbento ng iba't ibang klaseng robot na kung saan ay itong robot na to ay parang tao na. At sumunod, 9 years pa silang nag-aaral. So ganyan katagal nag-aaral ang mga Japanese. Okay? Now, let us move on to Korea. No? Lilipad na tayo sa Korea. So how is the education system in Korea? Korea has a single-track 6334 system, which denotes 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of middle school, 3 years of high school, and 4 years of college or university, which also offer graduate courses leading to master degree and doctoral degrees. They also encourage Korean students to develop basic science knowledge. No? So, the South Korea education or the education system of South Korea is considered as one of the best, no? One of the best in the world in standing out in the field of sciences. 'Di ba? So, sa panimula pa lang natin, makikita na natin na they are one of the best science, no? Or in terms of field of science, Korea is one of the best. Okay? So the South Korea's government has a strong focus on its education system as it accounts for a large part of the country or the large part of country economy. However, the pressure of these students is to meet the expectations and reach the higher level, no, of education is completed and suffocating. 'Di ba? As a result of this, no, the South Korea country is also ranked as one of the country with the highest suicide rate among the people. No, yung lang po yung nakakalungkot sa kanila. No, dahil sobrang prone ng stress, no, sa mga estudyante ng South Korea or ng Korea. No? Education not only involves acquiring knowledge, no, for South Korea, but also they are influencing socials and economic images, economic status, bearing in mind the future of the country. So, in addition, it has an important role in the family pride that arises when study at the prestigious university. No? So ano po ba yung sikat na university sa South Korea? Ito po yung Sky Universities. Okay? The Sky Universities. Okay, so alamin naman po natin kung ano ba yung 6334 system na tinatawag po nila. Okay? So in preschool education, no, this education level begins from 3 years to 5 or 6 years of age and it considered optional. Okay? So, mark this word. It considered as optional. Yung preschool education is considered as optional. Why? Different places in South Korea offering this level. Some are free on behalf of the government and the other are paid. These last ones being highly demanded. Preschool focuses on developing children's basic abilities such as the reading, writing, mathematical thinking, music, and physical activity and also sciences problems. It is also the key level to implementing the learning of second language, specifically the English. 'Di ba kaya nga po maraming nagpapaturo o nagpapatutor, no? Ito lang anong year ba nag-start yan? Siguro mga year 2016 or 2017. Maraming nagbukas na online tutoring which is ang mga estudyante mo ay Korean and mga estudyante na nagmula sa Thailand or sa Kuwait, 'di ba? Ayan. So, 50% of children in South Korea attended preschool. Most of them in private institution. Okay? So, ganyan kayaman, ano? 50% o kalahati ng populasyon nila ay nakatapos or pumapasok sa preschool or ipinapasok nila yung anak nila. At ito ay hindi sa pampublikong paaralan but in private school. Okay? So, next is the primary school, also known the Chodaeung Hangyu. Okay? So, yun ang tawag sa kanila sa primary school. It lasts approximately 6 years and it's mandatory level, starting from 5 to 6 years to 11 or 12 years of age. Okay? So, the vast majority of this school are free, although there are still fee-paying ones. However, kahit sila ay nagbabayad, no, ng tuition fee, for some families, their costs are very high, so there is not a great demand. For admission, the authority sends a letter to the child's parent which contains information about the school to which the child must attend. Its main subjects are writing, reading, mathematics, science, ethics, sports, music, drawing, and social sciences. At this stage, if a student is either gifted or proficient, he or she is allowed to be promoted to the next grade level, which is the middle school or also known as the Yung Hangyo. Okay? So, the middle school or the Yung Hangyo, this level is free and mandatory also. It lasts for 3 years, normally started from the age of 11 or 12 until the age of 14 to 15 years of age. In addition, no exam is required for admission. In terms of subject, there are focuses, no? So sa middle school, ang focus nila is Korean, mathematics, social studies, science, sports, music, arts, technical education, home economics, English. Okay? So the pressure, no? The pressure at this level begins to increase because of the competitiveness. Obtain good grades since the admission to a good high school is based on the student grade point average. Kaya, kung titingnan natin, marami ang nai-stress sa South Korea. Kaya, masyado silang prone in terms of suicide. Okay? And the next level of education is the Godaeyong Hangyo or the high school level. Okay? So, it lasts for 3 years. At this level, attendance is no longer mandatory. Ang high school sa South Korea ay hindi na po ito mandatory. But, the vast majority of students complete it. Although, it is no longer free. There are grants to low-income families. It should be noted that the student have other options, such as school with specialization than often required an exam of entering. Okay? At this level, the student feel highly pressured. Diba? Mas lalo silang nape-pressure. Kaya mas prone sila sa tinatawag natin na ano po, na suicide country of the world. Diba? Ayan. Kasi dito sa high school, ang tinitignan nila dito is yung good grade. No? Good grade. Okay? Then lastly is the higher education. Most university degree last 4 years. Okay? Last 4 years. No? So, as around the world, this is not a compulsory or pre-educational level. So, in South Korea, university entrance is considered one of the most difficult processes due to national exam. No? Ayan. So, in effect, the university an individual attend will automatically represent a large part of their identity in society. So, for this reason, no, sa mga hindi nakakapag-aral o sa mga nakakapag-aral in higher education sa South Korea, the vast majority of students is to aspire to continue their higher education at the Sky University, which is the most popular university in South Korea. Okay? So, in terms of science education, ano ba yung mga current trends and issues ng Japan sa science education? Alam nyo po, sila po ay maraming budget in terms of science. Kompleto po ang laboratories, kompleto ang mga equipment. The only thing na problema in terms of science education is science teacher. No? Scientists. The future scientists. Napakarami pong umaalis or ayaw magtuloy sa kanila, no? Kaya yung ilang scientist na meron sila is hindi na po nila ito pinababayaan. Kumbaga, napakataas na po ng sahod ng mga teacher ng science diyan sa Japan at Korea. Kasi nga po, ilan lang po talaga yung teacher. Lack of science teacher. No? Lack of science teacher na kung saan ay capable para magturo, no, ng high quality and standard education sa mga Japanese at Koreans, no? Kaya ayan po sa ating kung tayo po ay nagbabalak na mag-abroad, bakit hindi po tayo pumunta dito sa Japan at Korea? Sadya po talaga napakaganda ng science education dito, but the problem is no teachers, limited teachers, and also limited knowledge of the teachers. No, ayan. And for this for this topic, so meron po akong assessment questions, the three assessment questions. So first, how Japan and South Korea become one of the best education system in the world? Depend your answer. As a future administrator, how will you overcome the challenges that Japan and South Korea facing in education? And lastly, compare and contrast the science education in Japan and South Korea using the Venn diagram. So I think this is the end of my report, and follow up this is the video or additional video para mas lalo po nating maintindihan yung tinatawag po natin na ah, education, science education in Japan and Korea. I hope you learn a lot. Kung meron man po sigurong kulang is very brief lang. Pero sana po kayo ay natuto. No po? Kayo po ay natuto sa aking mga sinabi, sa aking binigay sa inyong impormasyon about science education or the education itself in Japan and Korea. So, please watch this video for more details. So, once again, this is Hiroto Diaz, your reporter for this afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone.